Good evening, YouTube. Hardball Crazy here. Come back at you today. Since it's Final Four weekend, or supposed to be Final Four weekend, I'm going to do a basketball showcase here. I grew up collecting mostly baseball only growing up in the 80s, and pretty much all the sets were basically Top Fleer and Donruss, and you could pretty much get the sets pretty easily. By the time I got to college in 1990 or so, all of a sudden, the Upper Deck and Leaf and Stadium Club, and shortly after that, the Bowman got a little harder to get, and the Finest, and everything's being short print and cost a little bit more, and sets became more and more and more out there. Um, base collecting sets was a little less fun than it used to be. So my freshman year, met up with another fellow student at MSU, Michigan State, and we was a card collector also, but he was a big football fan more than I was. I'm more a baseball fan than he was. So we decided to start Michigan State collection. So what we did was we cross-referenced all the big back annual magazines, the almanacs, and took the Michigan State media guides of the history of the pro teams and all the sports, and kind of cross-referenced them and started a collection of every Spartan we can get that has pro cards, college cards, whatnot, any cards that played at MSU. So that's how it all started. So early 90s, I started collecting Michigan State stuff. So it kind of added to the hunt of set collecting, and I kind of add on a year after year after year when the new rookies come out, each sport. So it kind of is a set collection, and it's search for the fun, the hunt of it, like old set collecting was. I now do with my Spartan collection, and I kind of feel, I'm alumnus too, so we all kind of feel like I have a kinship with all these guys because I either watched them play or one case I actually had a class with, and or they stepped in the same grounds that I did in same classrooms that I did while I was at MSU or before or after. So this is probably my most enjoyable part of card collecting is my Michigan State collection. So I'm going to show you off some cards from it. Just random, hard to find stuff, regionals, so maybe some stories behind it, maybe some higher end 90s inserts, some rookies, some autos, a little bit here and a little bit there. Love everything. Hopefully enjoy the randomness of it all, and I tell you a little bit about it. Looking forward to this magic? Good. So what Michigan State collection isn't without a Magic Johnson card, and specifically his rookie card? No, I do not have the Larry Bird version one, but I do have the other Magic Johnson rookie card. He's my all-time favorite player. Love watching him play. Advantage of him growing up in this town is that he comes back on occasion. I did get his autograph at a book signing, and he does come back to MSU, watch MSU play at least a couple times a year, and does watch each team each year quite in his LA or wherever he travels in the world, but he does still follows MSU quite closely. If you see him in the stands in the NCAA tournament every year, especially Final Four weekend. So that's my Magic Johnson. These are all loose because they all came from my MSU binder. The other star for the '79 championship basketball team was All-American was Greg Kelser, first round pick of Detroit Pistons. The longtime broadcast announcer in NCAA Big Ten Network. Now he does Pistons games. Very fun to listen to, very knowledgeable. Special K was his nickname. Of course, what Spartan collection, modern day Spartan collection, was out with Draymond Green. Here's a select autograph insert, rookie card. Love Day Day. I know he knows his role. A lot of people don't really like him, but he knows his role as the villain. He's the one that kind of keeps Curry and Trace Thompson, all those guys, able to play back their game, and Draymond, he knows his role, and he's plays a villain. He makes sure that takes the stress off of Steph Curry and Trace Thompson, so they could do their thing, and Green does just basically kind of like the oil of the engine, and kind of helps everything go along. Passer, rebounder, trash talker. Basically, he helps the team win. He's a winner. He's always been. Another young star of the Gary Harris. Here's his rookie card from Panini Threads, jersey auto. Played a couple years at MSU before he declared early to draft. My other all-time favorite Spartans is the unquestioned leader of the 2000 National Championship team is Mateen Cleaves. Coming in this year, he was Big Ten's all-time leading assist man, but Cassius Winston took that spot. NCAA all-time assist man too, I believe. This is my all-time favorite cards because it shows him him after they win the 2000 championship, the championship trophy. Obviously, there's sentimental reasons. I actually have that shirt just like that. We're selling those shirts after the championship season. Of course, Cleaves was part of the Flintstones. Kids from Flint all grew up together, went to different Flint high schools, and they all came to Michigan State together, won a national championship. And Mateen, Mo Pete, Jersey Hoops rookie card, and Charlie Bell all won the national championship. To Flint schools, all went to Flint, came to MSU, played together, won the national championship, kind of like, we're going to do this together and hold each other accountable. The thing I like about this card is that Mateen's high school teammate was Antonio Smith, who was the first Flint kid to come to Michigan State. He was like but never played in the NBA. And he graduated the year before the national championship. He mentions him in the background as part of the Flint team, Flintstones. And this is a cool card to have in my collection. It actually mentions Antonio Smith in the back. Antonio Smith is the brother of former Spartan and NFL Robert Smith, if you remember him. And their older brothers, Fernando Smith, played with the Vikings and such in the 90s. Going old vintage, here's a 71, 72 tops of former ABA All-Star Ralph Simpson. Not to be accused with Ralph Sampson, but Ralph Simpson. Fun fact about him, his daughter is a musician and I believe a Grammy Award winner, India Arie. Tall Boys, here's a rookie card of Johnny Green, the old Topps Tall Boys rookie cards. Jumpin' Johnny Green. He played over 1,000 games in the NBA, 13 seasons or so, three-time NBA All-Star. He was more of a rebounder than a scorer, averaged like 11 points and 8.5 rebounds a game or something like that ballpark. I have a card of every Spartan of some sort who have played at least one game in the NBA from 1970 to present. That's something I'm kind of proud of. And kind of the homage to these old tall guys is 2001 Topps did a tall set 2. Can't remember the exact name of it, but this is a J. Rich rookie card. Jason Richardson, 2-time slam dunk champion. I remember some nice dunks he had. Scott Topps High Tops or something, I guess it was called. Jason Richardson rookie card, numbered out of 1,500. He was part of the 2000 National Championship team. Then the other rookie card from that year is a longtime NBA veteran, Zach Randolph. His rookie card is a autograph insert. He came to MSU the year after they won a national championship. They went to the Big Ten title that year, went to the Final Four. He was one and done. Good player. This card's numbered 850, autograph insert. Now to a couple high-dollar, high-end rookie parallels from the 90s. I do have one of these. About a precious metal gem from 98-99 Metal. Kevin Willis, longtime NBAer. Number 21 of 100. Your precious metal gem fans will love this one. Fan of the 90s insert. Didn't realize I had until a couple years ago. I went to the binders. Oh, I have a precious metal gem. And a fellow namer to one of our YouTubers, Essential Credentials. I do have an Essential Credential of Steve Smith. This is 96-97. Number 499. I'm not sure value of it or anything, but it's an Essential Credential. Here's a nice another Steve Smith shine. Woman's best. More of the recent stars of MSU has played in the NBA. He didn't really hasn't done really much in the NBA. It's a Denzel Valentine auto. Number 33 out of 99 of the playoff contenders. Fun fact, him, Denzel, and his dad, Carlton Valentine, is the only father-son I have together in my MSU basketball collection. Carlton Valentine was Denzel's coach, high school coach, and he was a role player in the late 80s in some lean MSU teams. He was also, Carlton Valentine was the high school teammate of Danny Ferry of those old Morgan Wooten's DeMathis teams from the D.C., Maryland area. I'm sure if you follow college basketball and basketball generally, you probably know what I'm talking about. The other star player from that high school team with Denzel Valentine was actually Bryn Forbes. He actually holds the MSU record, maybe in the Big Ten record for most three-pointers in one game. This is the MSU record. I had to pay a lot for this money. I was like, I don't want to pay this much for a Bryn Forbes autograph. So this is his first card. National Treasures. It's numbered out of 99. I had to pay a little much what I wanted for a Forbes card, but I am getting it. Now he's got a few other cards out there. Remember the old star cards from the early 80s? Here's the Jay Vincent one from 83-84. He was a power forward, came in the same class at Michigan State as Magic Johnson. He was a sophomore also on the national championship team in 79. This is a short print of those. Jay Vincent and Sam Vincent, this is Entman's Bulls from like 87, 88 or so. The only two brothers each win a Big Ten scoring title in a Big Ten history. Both played All-Americans in Big Ten scoring titles, and both played first-round picks. Though I think he was just out of the first round. And both played in the NBA for several years. Old regional card. Sometimes that's the only card they have of them. Is try to get your all MSU's collection is find is hard to get regionals. 1961 Essex Hawks of Al Ferrari. St. Louis Hawks. The set also has Hall of Famer Bob Pettit in it. This is the only Al Ferrari pro card there is. And the only card whatsoever is of Ken Johnson, is the 85-86 Franz Trailblazers set. He played a couple years at MSU after transfer to USC. This is the only card he has. Played like 1 year with the Blazers. Just to throw a Scott Skiles card in because he's an MSU legend and the NBA's record holder most assists per game with 30. Here's an autograph insert of him. Number 199. Grady Gutty, Scotty Skiles. Heck of a player. Next up, one of my all-time favorites. Cards didn't do much in the NBA, but I actually had a class with him at MSU, and quiet. He was a good student, he was quiet, kept to himself, but he's the MSU's all-time leading scorer, and I think he's number 2 Big Ten all-time. Sean Ruspert, best shooters I ever saw in college. He can just spot up a three and just hit it like no business. Any given night, he'll shoot. He can go out for 30 or 40 points a game. And his teammate, Eric Snow. This is a Skybox autographics of him in early years with Sonics. Funny story about him is that, look for this card here, is that Canada, I think they still do, I think they just canceled this one because of COVID, is that they have 2 shows each year outside of Toronto, one in May and one in November. And so a buddy of mine that I mentioned before who did card collecting, he went to Toronto one year, pick up some hockey cards and CFL stuff, and it's about the time this card came out. And so he picked up some of all those random MSU guys, and one guy, so I was looking for this card in here, so I asked for stack of autographics. And so he asked me, what are you looking for? So I look for Eric Snow. I collect cards from Michigan State. This is, of course, is soon after the Fab Five. Oh, like the Fab Five and Chris Webber's? Like, no, 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 no. That's the other school. So I had to explain to the Canadians that there's two schools in Michigan. Actually, there's more. That we don't like each other. So I'd explain sort of like it's Montreal versus it's like Edmonton and Calgary or stuff like that. So I kind of, oh, okay. So I had to put it in hockey terms for them. I'm just going to finish out with two more cards. The latest Spartans in the NBA, Young Stars. Hopefully they do well. There's Prism rookies of Jaren Jackson and Miles Bridges. I'm looking forward to getting some Cassius Winston cards. The latest All-American at MSU. Big Ten's all-time leader assist man. Good guy overall. Too bad he didn't get a chance to go for the national championship his senior year. But he did lead the team to a Final Four and several Big Ten titles. So we're proud of Cassius Winston. We all love him here. So I'm looking forward to add him to my collection and any other underclassmen on the team, including Xavier Tillman, who just declared. He might come back, though. We love X-Man, too. So there you have it. That's some highlights of my MSU card collection. Thank you for watching.